you've got nothing else to do, why don't I tell you a story?
After all this time living in a city.
We have put in... If you ever have any questions...
The one before you is known as Jade Seeker. One travel. Ah.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Time room. You're up. Rest and rebuild. Don't be scared. Hold the line.
Game's up. Time's over.
Rest and rebuild.
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Fire hazard. I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin der Verirrt. Don't be scared! Time for a light show!
Busted. Game's up. Time's over.
Don't be scared! Allow me!
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Fuse is lit!
Fireworks are for now, but friends are forever.
Ah, tra l'altro mi sono dimenticato una cosa. E fino adesso che parlo da solo. E da 40 minuti che parlo da solo. No, perché ieri ho tolto la webcam e il microfono perché è arrivata la videochiamata di un mio amico, allora ho giocato per altri 2 minuti, poi ho spento. Non ci credo, vabbè, non fa niente, la base è quella. Mi dispiace perché avevo parlato di cose interessanti. Da una parte ci sta perché c'era gente in camera mia, quindi onestamente va bene così. Salvato dal mio stesso errore. Buono. Ok. La webcam non l'ho solo spostata ma perché l'ho spostata per la videochiamata perché il mio amico voleva vedere il PC da gaming, allora abbiamo fatto la videochiamata direttamente sul computer e, e niente, nel senso che adesso li ho fatto vedere, cioè l'avevo già fatto vedere però insomma c'era il fatto del come si dice? Vabbè, l'ha visto in videochiamata, insomma, posso di vederlo in foto, no? Non so come dirlo in un altro modo. Completa la sfida dei funghi. Ok. Bello carino, è divertente per queste missioni qua, mi piace. Oh, ma questi qua piccoli cercano qualcosa, no? Mi piace che è simile al Gagno. L'attacco. Ci sta. Distruggi i lettori degli Ilico. Intendi così? Non funziona neanche così. Infatti non gli ho fatto un cacchio. Però ero curioso. Non colpire lui, colpisci sta roba qua. Sì, buonanotte. Bravissimo. Abbiamo già finito 10 secondi fa, anche di più. Ci avremmo fatto più in fretta, c'era con quelli lì che sono sopra lì. Ecco. Adesso torniamo a questo. Gioco mi piace un sacco, soprattutto per il fatto che qualsiasi cosa succeda tu puoi teletrasportarti via. Forse tipo Skyrim, forse anche Starfield e così. È un incubo. Devo parlare con Aki. Perché devi aspettare il combattimento, devi finire il combattimento, anche se sei circondato da livelli 1, no. È quello che volevo. Grazie per l'aiuto. È più morbido di quanto immaginassi, aderisce bene ma non fornisce un sostegno. Ah, va bene lo stesso. Come dicono i saggi, nessun gran palazzo mai costruito in un giorno. Suppongo che nemmeno creare il tipo di terra che voglio sia così facile. Grazie. Ancora tu. E la signorina Arim sarebbe? Un buon lavoro al suo prezzo. Credi che quello che faccio sia lo stesso livello di quello che fanno tutti, dice Aki? Arim dice, fare le cose in modo diverso dagli altri non significa che il tuo lavoro valga di più. E comunque mi piace che io e Mia guarda tutti, no? Imparare l'arte delle delizie della cascia sono capaci tutti. Perché tu dovresti essere speciale? A chi mi risponde, non saprei così. Non sarei, no scusate, non sarei così precipitoso, fossi in te. La cascia è stato disattivato e comunque ognuno fa le cose in modo diverso. Ah, ok, una frase riguardante la storia interessante. Certo, d'accordo, diciamo che hai vinto tu, è il motivo per cui acquisti i tuoi prodotti, la tua particolare mestiere artigianato. Diamine, se non fossimo amici di vecchia data non mi farei in quattro per assicurarmi che tu abbia da ora. La conoscenza. Le conoscenze fondamentali saranno le stesse, ma ciò che viene costruito in base a esse è diverso. A differenza degli altri, io sono un innovatore. Ho anche provato più varietà di argilla. Tipo quello dei melmosi. Ah, beccato, avevi giurato che non mi avresti chiesto altri modi per acquistare nuovi materiali, o sbaglio? Eh. Tempo il buon uomo si dà al rock. Chitarre proprio no, sembrano mandolini. Ho detto, ho fatto solo la battuta. Nonno rock.
Ad Astra Abyss.
Magari lo compro per i suoi
Thank you
nipoti.
for completing
I
today's
guess. Use your reward. No, devi darmi qualcos'altro. Vabbè, ci sta per giungere, I guess. Ah, up up and away. So, dobbiamo continuare la roba di Ferrusen. Che non so dove cavolo, non mi ricordo come funziona qua. Cerca gli alberi, parla con il personale. Pausa. Beh, mi sta simpatica sta. Nel senso che quando la sblocchi a livello 1 amicizia ti snobba. Invece sì, ci sta. Io. Continuiamo.
Momdu, the one I recommended is here.
La base è che abbiamo incontrato Fausan, che è una studiosa che ha 100 anni. Il problema è che sembra che ha la nostra età, che ha l'età di Ita, perché è rimasta bloccata in uno strano posto, in uno strano posto e non è invecchiata. È tornata dopo un secolo appunto all'accademia e adesso tutti sono contenti e ha un carattere un po' strano questo. Infatti con lei non va d'accordo, abbiamo scelto, potevi scegliere se fare una insegnante perché l'accademia gli ha chiesto, senti ma visto che qua non fai mai niente, vuoi fare l'insegnante una volta per tutte o vuoi aiutare con questo progetto dei giocattoli che dopo si è scoperto che era dei giocattoli? E ha chiesto a me, io gli ho detto che secondo me lei si addiceva più una ricerca forse. A me di quanto.
Oh, so you're, Madame Farazan?
That's right.
Yes, that's me.
Mhm.
Ah, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently.
Mm.
We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
Sono dei bambini, cosa devi farli fare 50%?
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
Vabbè.
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
Mm.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
Funzionamenti complessi pur utilizzando come.
The contraptions in my notes. I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them.
Ah, nelle rovine. Dove erai rimasta bloccata.
But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher. We do have those. Yes, please, help yourself.
È più safe. Pausa, comincia a disegnare.
Oh, you're done already?
Ah, è tipo... che cacchio di gioco c'ha? Ci sta. Guarda.
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Non mi ricordo come si chiama. Però ci giocavo anche.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Aiuto.
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one.
Non puoi muovere solo nero più a volte, non puoi posizionarlo sopra uno più piccolo. Sì, ci giocavo anch'io.
It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Troppo epico.
Pagoda stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such a simple toy. There's no need to...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Aiuto, cattivo.
Okay, then.
Come volontari.
And
Che
that's
fa
how you
cosa
play
non
this
spiega?
game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number of steps.
Non avrei mai pensato di vedere Frozen con dei bambini, sembra fuori di testa.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
What?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Infatti la difficoltà è che dici ma è facile, il problema è che non devi mettere...
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
Quindi si sono fatti attirare dalla promessa. Caro.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
Ecco. I bambini cominciano a giocare.
Done! It took me 19 steps.
Vedi? Non
Huh?
facile.
It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Sì.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try? An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
Circa.
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster one this time.
Yep.
Done! It took me 35 steps.
No, era la battuta.
What? How? This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Ecco.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total.
Adesso voi però ritriggerare sti bambini.
Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go as well?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as well.
Forte. Gli adulti ci
You were
fanno.
looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved?
I think think so.
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
Aw, we don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out.
Abbastanza.
Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
Se ci sono 5... indovinare, se vuoi ti faccio un calcolo, ma realmente non mi viene da fare, cioè, nel senso, se ce ne sono 5, cioè se ce ne sono 5 di quelle robe lì, di cose di stack lì, ci sono 7 cose, tu devi spostarlo. Bravo, se c'è, no, non so. È un numero alto perché devi spostare, andare dietro. Però non credo che sia così. O 127, 108, tiriamo 120.
Oh, color me impressed. You figured it out so quickly.
Meno male.
Let's see how well they do then.
Allora sono abbastanza un genio.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken. Can I restart?
This got a lot harder.
I solved it! Madame Faruzan, it takes 127 steps in total.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
Ma il problema è che devi fare avanti e indietro.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
Ci giocavo io da piccolo.
It will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for pagoda stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption making techniques.
Va così. Intanto lo faccio anch'io così. Quando si tratta delle antiche tecniche di creazione di
I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book.
Forte.
Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Chissà.
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah, when can we play with them?
La cosa non mai è la regina dei giochi.
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Of course! I'd be honored.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making.
Tornerò tra 2 giorni, quindi.
You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk back with you.
Ti accompagno indietro. Ottimo. Strana come missione.
Is Madame Faruzan really going to mentor me? What an honor. I'm sure she'll say helping with illustrations isn't mentoring. So, don't tell her I said that.
E qua c'è
No wonder she's so well respected at the academia. When I first saw her, I thought she might be unreliable because she's so young.
Adesso senti un urlo. Non so.
Don't let her know I said that. Anise warned me about that before.
Ah. Ah, lascia il porto di Osmos. I'm Batman.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardistii as quickly as I can.
A proposito di...
You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them, yes? Putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves, I actually have no issue with their research methodologies and approach. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just doing their best to shed light on the unknown in their respective fields of expertise.
Con la nuova accademia, yes. L'altra sembra un posto.
No matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on, it's a step forward for us all.
Quindi come mai ti rifiuti?
Because I believe wholeheartedly in that principle.
Ok.
Even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate, it could become useful in the future.
Ah, quindi vuoi fare la tua ricerca? Beh, giusto.
In the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate knowledge. When I first started deciphering ancient documents, I didn't think about how it'd be useful to Kasharawar. That's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to access the materials I need for my research here.
Ci sta.
Still, the funding that Kasharawar has offered me is so hard to get in Haravatat.
Più ci parlo, più mi piaceva perdere nel tempo. Non c'ho voglia. Nel senso che Fisk è più so che funziona Fisk, quindi non c'ho voglia di provare un'altra persona.
Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia.
Qualche idea?
Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations.
Cosa di semplice e divertente per i bambini?
You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easier for me to recruit students in the long run. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
Va bene. Thank you. Wow, così morta lei. E l'unica cosa brutta è che quando ti fai queste missioni incontro devi aspettare 2 giorni. 2 giorni. Però non capisco perché Starfield anche c'è di nuovo il timer a 24 ore. Cioè su Skyrim dopo anni alla gente che fa ribollire il sangue che non c'è mai stato il timer a oltre 24 ore perché ci sono molte cose interessanti tipo l'orto eccetera che deve crescere o devi prenderti le piante per l'alchimia per dire e devi aspettare lì e usare sempre questa cosa 24 più 24 più 24 adesso non mi ricordo esattamente dovrebbe essere una settimana e quindi di fare 24 più 24 più 24. Lo so che lo fanno apposta però per questione di gioco secondo me devo mettere minimo 48 ore o 60 sembra giusto. Arrivo con Yo-Yo.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
Non so cosa c'è in te.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the Academia shall say about it this time.
Ma abbastanza divertita, all'inizio non c'era hobby. Grandioso e vivace evento all'inizio.
And if we activate this little mechanism just like that, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane.
Oh, I see.
I thought it came out of thin air! It's amazing!
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear, right?
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad.
Stai applicando in modo creativo ciò che hai imparato.
Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
Presumo di sì.
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make up a mechanism.
I principi in gioco sono molto più importanti dei componenti.
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
Anche lui.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for children's development...
I mean, you can try, eh?
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event. I'll give it a go.
But we want to play too!
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials. All feedback is also welcomed.
Evento popolare, vivace, continua. Popolare.
Oh, my origami bird flew further this time.
Professor Farazan, how can I make mine fly further?
Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to call me Professor. You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example. All right, try it again.
Ma cosa ne diverte? Cioè, è assurdo.
Wow, it really did fly farther!
Madam Farazan, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Ah, non so.
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
Che forte.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Academia. Wait, was it 7? Which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Aiuto.
Well, in this case, it wouldn't be Haravatat.
I know. We need to choose Kasharawar.
Huh?
Ci è rimasta male, guarda gli occhi.
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami birds.
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms!
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children?
No, si è fregata adesso. Sembra che questi giocattoli per l'apprendimento siano un successone, però non sarà facile reclutare gli studenti.
How did this happen?
Oddio, poveraccio.
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do like?
Quello è...
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, but I research mechanisms, see? The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not really.
Ok.
Huh. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Now, do you want to learn about some other machines?
Che forte. Che forte.
Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms and elemental monuments.
Si sta divertendo un mucchio. Che bella! Che bella sta porta. Si sta divertendo un mucchio. Che forte, mi piace. E ci siamo anche noi. Fin quando la ricerca della conoscenza è motivo di gioia, non ci trovo nulla di male, ma davvero non voglio pensarci, anche le lezioni dell'Avatar sono molto bello, mi piace. Quindi abbiamo sbloccato 5 finali.
Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today.
Ci vuole un po' a fare sta roba, però
Come
vabbè.
on, let's get a move
Più
on.
che altro, appunto, la cosa funzionava anche... Cioè, nel senso, se mi sarei svegliato stamattina questo, avevo continuo, potevamo già finito, ma la base è quella lì. Sono tornato a casa a un orario molto molto...
What now? Master said there's no. I feel for Madam, but if I get her in trouble.
pensiamo a un modo per condurla.
But if someone does complain to the academia, wouldn't it make Farazan's situation more awkward?
Lo so.
And if the academia investigated and found her at Party's DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Party's DI without stepping on the academia's toes?
Ma la situazione non è mezza. Vediamo prima cosa.
Okay then. I'm counting on you.
Quindi c'è quella adesso.
I have to teach students from Haravatat or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am. Madam Farazan, we're back. Sorry for asking again, but are you sure you can't go to Party's DI today? Well, since you're asking me so sincerely, let's just ignore the academia and...
Please, Madam Farazan, focus. Today's the deadline.
Ecco, il Tainare vorrebbe invitare a discutere di una ricerca.
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research. Yeah, that's right. Master sent us over to explain everything to you.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a coincidence.
Sure.
Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Farazan's research and that of Amorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
Master wants to research,
Aiuto.
a fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
Teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Right.
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't delay this any longer.
Sono le 3:40. Poco me ne vado poi da un
I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done.
filo di pungo. La ricercatrice si è contenta.
Phew. I think she bought it.
Hai avuto proprio una bella pensata.
Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team. Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madam Farazan, Did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the academia asks for any details... Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no? Huh? Then how will we explain things to them? I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the academia.
Vabbè, mi sembra giusto.
If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the academia nonsense.
Mi sembra giusto. Che scemenza. Mi sembra giusto. In realtà io volevo fare l'altro. Quello dell'insegnante. Quello sì. Volevo vedere che faceva l'insegnante. Vabbè. Non so se abbiamo ancora tempo per una cosa o...
Master, we're back! Huh? Where did he go?
You don't have to shout. I can hear you.
Io che c'ha le orecchie.
Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to take care of.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various problems of mine onto others.
Onto others? What does that mean?
Che tu devi lavorare.
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please, follow me.
Sai che non mi ricordo neanche. Entra nel... Via. Ci sarà ancora la ragazza lì. Non so. Ah, c'è coso. Che cosa però? Non ci credo! Caccata!
A monster? Why is there a monster here?
Aiuto.
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Karkata.
What?
It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame.
Non ci credo che c'è anche Karkata.
Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than they look. Is Karkata sick?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission.
Una trasmissione?
My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further. But Madame Farazan, you should be able to find a way to repair it.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
Piccolo granchino.
Karkata.
Oh.
Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Farazan.
Ok. Vedere qua.
Who knew that I'd encounter a mechanical life form in this manner after 100 years?
Andiamo.
We'll wait here till Farazan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her.
Ah, finalmente.
Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you.
Ok.
I've told you before that she had disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description.
Intrappolata.
Her exact words were,
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall.
Quelle rovine pullavano di trappole e iscrizioni in codice su ogni parete.
I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out.
Pensi che per 100 anni rimane in un posto, poi non riesci a uscire, cioè io esploderei.
I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind.
Inizio.
After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
she doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape.
Nato fatto. No, sto scherzando.
When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences.
Poverina.
Only after a lengthy recovery period could she speak again.
Poverina.
The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago.
Può darsi.
And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew and everyone who knew her was already gone.
Quello è il brutto. Il brutto di vivere tanto, I guess.
In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within expectations.
Però è riuscita a scappare.
Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Farazan is a true senior researcher, in every sense of the word.
Ho notato.
She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her. It'll definitely be helpful for your journey.
E ce l'abbiamo già. Però dobbiamo solo guidare. Capisco.
Master, Madame Farazan's done.
Oh, let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
Speriamo. Mi piace che c'è...
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things on this. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
Colto parti prima d'ora, sì.
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Carcata's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins.
Nelle rovine.
The creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Ah, la manutenzione dell'energia è un problema.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
Lei è più lavoro manuale, meno.
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear, this is going to be a problem. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Carcotta. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? Well, that is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Carcotta needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
Chiama il capo dei ricercatori dove si trova questa.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Carcotta settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Carcotta's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it.
Io vado con Faust.
Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said that you pawned it off to someone else. Wait. Don't tell me.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
No, sbagliato.
A fully automated irrigation system. That's quite the task.
Master, can I help with anything at all? I can go buy things, prepare pen and paper.
Lei è troppo brava.
Oh, you know, I seem to remember that you have a lot of homework today.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I do.
Povera cosa.
Well, hurry up and finish it so you can sleep early, or Farazan will worry. That's the best thing you can do now to help.
Oh, okay.
Loro sono poco divertiti, noi andiamo a spasso. Spero che non sia una cosa lunghissima, perché tra mezz'ora me ne vado a dormire. Vedremo. E prima ho parlato mezz'ora a casaccio, nel senso che ho parlato appunto un po' di Starfield, un po' di cose così, ma Non fa niente. Volevo solo vedere solo in live scene. Questo sarebbe. Insomma, sto in silenzio perché sono in piena la missione, voglio sentire cosa
What is this?
dico.
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further.
Lei è una cercatrice da...
That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you've visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
Aiuto.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission to enter.
What a stubborn guy.
Vediamo che quel ricercatore faccia ritorno. Possiamo sprecare il nostro tempo. Non possiamo sprecare il nostro tempo o aspettiamo che... Io direi di aspettare, però mi ispira, non possiamo...
You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people here. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting from who in the world mentored you?
Who in the world?
Halt! Mr. Raid...
Volevo solo... Who in the world?
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legendary Ruin Wanderer? The location seems to fit too. Might that legend actually be true?
Chiacchiero. Vita. But...
The ruins. Don't know anything. We were only hired to deliver water and supplies to them. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get close to the camp where they're staying.
Sembra abbastanza stanco. Desert è carino, non vedo tanto lag.
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms, but it's been calm lately for some reason. They say that this was done by a single traveler? But seriously, is such a thing even humanly possible?
Chissà chi è, chissà chi, chissà proprio chissà. Boh, siamo noi. Ho fatto domande e farò organizzare informazioni.
I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you?
Gli abitanti assunti, la sparizione delle tempeste. Questo è un macchinario di cui... questo...
Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that wreckage did seem a bit weird.
Di strano.
It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance. Perhaps we should ask the villager from before about the legend first.
Ok.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here?
Per sapere di più sulla leggenda del vagabondo.
I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's a tale that's over a decade old.
Aiuto.
It's said that this
No,
monster,
non ho detto
Ruin
niente.
Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed to see it while exploring.
Ok.
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has since faded into memory. You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard that secondhand from...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right?
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeological expedition. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume. What brings the two of you here?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Tutti vecchietti. C'ha le rughe questo.
Really? That ruin wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
You're right, sir. I'll get back to work now.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? We can continue our discussion tomorrow.
Bene.
There are tents over there that the villagers occasionally use to rest. The condition is a bit simple, yes, but I hope you won't mind.
Simple, yes.
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that.
Simple, yes. Mi sa che riusciamo solo a completare sta roba qua e poi domani ci facciamo un altro finale.
This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? This suits us just fine, though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either.
Ok.
Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. I only caught a quick glimpse, and it was from a distance. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped moving about a dozen years ago.
Una dozzina addirittura.
Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, assuming that it really is the Ruin Wanderer, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of several decades?
Modulo di restituzione. Sembra abbastanza contento.
That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before.
Hai visto forme di vita in passato? Hai incontrato altre oltre alla carcata?
Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Carcata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to help me record some notes. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here.
Una forma di vita meccanica risalente a una fa esistesse.
Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly.
Non hai investigato prima perché?
Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently, and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Carcata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move.
Okay.
They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight. We must be vigilant.
Vabbè. Nel cuore della notte sentite i suoni a distanza.
Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something tomorrow. Not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite the manpower expenditure. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that, would you?
Ok.
All right. I'm counting on you.
Va bene, Fred. Un candido. Aggiungi la zona fisica. È curioso se lì dentro che scava i documenti. Ah, dobbiamo andare noi a testa bassa, proprio come dire, hello, my name is Jim.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping. Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight, no matter what it takes.
Huh? Who's there?
Il signor Stagliere.
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here?
E questa consegna che vi sta dando problemi.
It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite delivered here.
State discutendo così animamente per
The
quello.
relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet and I can't fall asleep, I came here to patrol.
Ci sono persone che rubano le reliquie.
Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many people precisely because I was worried about that happening. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really aware that you've traversed through the desert to come here in the middle of the night? Also, where's Faruzan? Why isn't she with you?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Non farla incavolare. La Tsunemiku di turno, non farla incavolare. Che cavolatissimo.
Sorry, Madam Faruzan.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever, so I came to check in on the situation.
Esatto, mandi l'uomo di turno.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Let's head back.
Andiamo già via.
Yes, we came to check out the situation, didn't we? Well, we've already done that.
Ok.
We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow.
Tutta contenta. Dai, dice. Che mi si è sbagliato. Ha visto qualcosa. Basta. Non sono notato che guardavo la macchina. Spero che riusciamo a finire. Non chissà.
Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous traps and contraptions having already been triggered. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over 100 years. There's no doubt that the wreckage and the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have wandered into the ruins about a dozen years ago.
Ok.
It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered recently. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the researcher could definitely reach the same conclusion I did. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. The answer may lie within those pages.
E decifrare messaggi in codice?
It's just wordplay. And if anything, that's my wheelhouse.
Ah già sì, perché lei è praticamente una professoressa di letteratura, praticamente. Ma cosa inizia a decifrare?
Just a bit more. Ah, I see now.
Help! Please help!
Ok.
Why are you running away? Come back! Protect me!
Tu rimani fermo.
What's that sound? Is it?
Cazzato.
The Ruin Wanderer? Reactivated? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. We have to focus on saving lives first. I'll cover them. You go stall the Ruin Wanderer.
Ok. Non mi può fare niente.
What? It ignored the traveler?
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate? And to give chase?
Oh.
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape, so let's just attack it!
È spento. È un po' più interessante rispetto all'altro, però quella dei bambini era anche carina.
Hey, you guys, get up there and tell me what's going on.
What's going on?
But what if it suddenly moves?
I don't care.
You good-for-nothings. Why is everyone I hired so useless? Move! I'll do it myself. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be. I didn't expect it to be so much weaker than it looks. How disappointing.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
Father-son, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't mean you get to slander me.
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
I don't recognize that thing.
January 3rd, excavated 5/10. January 5th, 3/10 sold. January 10th, one special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent.
Ciò tenda vuol dire il codice della ricarica.
You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it. When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer in the black market, yes? And then we arrived just before you could finish your work. That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the Ruin Wanderer instead. Did I get that all right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Aiuto, incavolata nera.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach. Hey, we're leaving.
Mr. Aid!
Behind you?
Di nuovo attiva. Aiuto.
Why is it moving again? Run!
Ok, l'ha preso in pieno. Attenta, fa cosa?
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time?
Ah, è suo. Ah, è lui. Ok. What?
Long time no see, Tamimi.
Ah, ho trovato Tamimi. Non ci credo. Yeah. Questo è Tamimi House?
Dear Farazan, I hope you're doing well. It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel like you're still alive. Yes, that you live still in some corner of this world. You've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well in surviving and finding your way home.
È diventata molto più interessante la missione.
Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Others keep telling me to stop exploring ruins.
Tua madre?
Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if it'll ever be delivered to you. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've already found your way home. I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely happy for you, my dear daughter.
Sì, è sua mamma.
Welcome home, Farazan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all these years. Thank you for waiting for me all this time. I've safely received the letters. Your work is done now. You can sleep.
Quello è.
Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on expeditions, it would follow me, take notes for me, and send my letters home. When I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I once thought that I'd never get to see it again.
E poi invece aveva la lettera di tua mamma.
I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self-learning. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. 1 decade of wandering became many, and soon... Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer. All so it could deliver these last letters from them to me.
Anche se loro non ci sono più, non hanno mai smesso di stare nel tuo ritorno.
The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your heart, right?
Tamimi?
Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because its shelf life had run out. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Now, it can finally rest in peace.
No, è morto.
Tainari told you what happened to me, right?
Sì, mi dispiace.
You don't have to apologize. It's not like this incident is a secret in the academia. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must accept this result.
Ok.
However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure does make me feel somewhat conflicted.
Beh, non l'hai fatto apposta.
Can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make Kale and the rest worry. As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for a bit longer.
Mi sembra giusto. Sono delle lettere per terra, le vorrei leggere. La rimoderazione di Tamini sta andando bene in questo momento, è in grado di apprendere come affrontare varie situazioni. Quanto vorrei che potesse vederlo con i Mentre lavoravo continuavo a riflettere su come tu riusciresti a fare un lavoro molto migliore del mio. Dopo tutto sei la studentessa più eccezionale che abbia mai. Biglietto con tante correzioni. Io avevo detto di non, ora guarda, tante persone preoccupate, perfino Tamini. La scrittura è confusa, è stata corretta più volte, lasciando solo qualche fallo. Sbrigati, torna a casa e mangia qualcosa, tua madre prepara sempre una porzione di cibo. Del quiz deve essere quando è scomparsa all'inizio, nel senso che la mamma piangeva quasi. Gentile Madame Fausa, appunti redatti. Gli appunti e i manoscritti trovati su Tamimi sono trascritti e organizzati e ciascuno di loro è stato contrassegnato col tuo nome. Spero che anche dopo un secolo le future generazioni di studenti ricorderanno ancora il nome di Madame. Esattamente, proprio un secolo. È facile. Immagini che cosa strana, ti viene una lettera e la ricevi dopo 100. Le cose sono cambiate, non ci sono più gli smartphone. Le persone magari hanno una mentalità diversa, sono più chiuse, sono più aperte. E ricevi sta lettera. Causa resta in silenzio. Col capo abbassato, deserto, respira soffiando aliti di vento, l'unico suono che si ode è il muoversi lì. Stava cercando di ricordarsi mamma e papà. Quello deve essere brutto. Rimani intrappolato per 100 anni, cerchi di fare tutto quello che vuoi, diventi quasi pazza. Ci riesci per un miracolo che non si capisce molto. Esci, è tutto cambiato, non ci sono più i tuoi parenti, cioè deve essere una cosa veramente tutti. Deve essere veramente brutto che arrivi lì. Non vedi. Non ci sono più i tuoi parenti, sei praticamente da sola. E alla fine sei sempre una ragazza, non sei cresciuta. Lei non è mai cresciuta. Ti ritrovi così la mamma e papà con giovane. È stranissimo come storia, però ci sta. Povero il Ulimimi, come si chiama?
You're back!
Yeah.
Ah, how was your journey through the desert? Wait, where's Madame Farazan?
Ma tieni il segreto, racconta la verità. Cosa devo fare? È una cosa un po' personale. Però di Tainari mi fido perché mi ha aiutato col dottore di Fatui. Però voglio tenere il segreto. Esponi a tutti una parte della verità.
So, Madame Farazan has some other things to settle. All right. And to think that Raid was doing all those things on the sly. It's good that you all got out of that situation in one piece.
Madame Farazan will be able to repair Carcado when she gets back.
Mi dispiace che gli ho detto a me la verità, allora penso che siano cose personali. Al momento solo io e Farazan sappiamo di Tamimi. È giusto che sia Farazan a decidere se parlarne meno con gli altri. Sì, è giusto. Secondo me è giusto. Aspetta un giorno. Ma non andrò esattamente a dormire che voglio andarmene a dormire. Qui è bello perché puoi aspettare fino a quando. Oh, l'ho notato. Beh, ci sta. Anche perché molte cose capitano di aspettare 2 o 3 giorni, eccetera, eccetera. Non è come, però non è tipo Skyrim che alcune cose. Cioè, è tutto tempo reale, i funghi crescono dopo 3 giorni reali, non è dopo 3 giorni del gioco c'è i funghi come Skyrim. Però ci sta lo stesso.
What? Is there to be no welcoming party?
Madame
Farazan, we're over here.
Yeah.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Carcata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape.
Ah, rimette i cosi. Oh.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization. Unbelievable. Thankfully, it didn't end up in Raid's unscrupulous hands.
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened.
Un po' incavolata. Gli ho detto di Raid, gli ho detto della squadra. Gli ho detto della squadra.
Is that so? Thank you. We will talk about everything else later.
Allora ho fatto bene, vedi. Ulilu.
It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. They're going to be very busy. Too busy to bother us, I'd wager. I'll start repairing Carcata then. Kale, can you help me out?
Ha la stessa età di colei forse. Tecnicamente età. Penso.
Of course.
Non anni. Dopo alcune riparazioni Carcata torna energetica e vitale. Yeah! Hello!
It looks fine, but even so, it needs to properly rest up.
Inari cosa dici?
Farazan went out after repairing Carcata. She seems to be looking for you for some reason.
Presumo per
Well,
ringraziare.
I will not probe any further. However, if you need any help, do feel free to ask.
Forte che c'è. Piace, c'è con lei anche che è Carcata. È carino Carcata. Vediamo cosa vuole. Ci buttiamo giù dal balconcino. Questo è pazza! Ciao.
Ah, you're here.
Ha detto come dire che stufia. Apertura discreta. No, scherzo.
Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret.
Ah no, è contento. Hai intenzione di dire?
If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Carcata? Even if we could convince them to accept the components, they'll probably still feel bad about it.
È bravo, c'ha un buon carattere. Se non la chiami madam e non la prendi per rispetto si incavola, ma è giusto così. Ogni persona deve presa con rispetto. Invece se la tratti bene è bravissimo.
I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people.
No, voglio che il mio passato influenzi il presente. Questo vale sia per me che per le altre persone. Non dovresti addossarti questo peso da solo.
It's fine. I'm used to this. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. Even their faces are getting hazier in my memories. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Mimi handed to me and learning that they'd never given up on me. That's more than enough.
Sono riusciti a terracotare tutti uno per me, più che basta.
I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Neither my teacher nor my mother would have wanted to see me like that.
Vabbè, certo.
Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Pardius DI looks pretty scenic at night. Will you take a stroll with me?
Attenzione. Volentieri.
Once Carcata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainari and Kale about all that.
Ok. Sei decisa a fare una passeggiata con noi? Attenzione.
But for now, just help me keep the secret.
Ok. Un segreto tra noi e Faust.
Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago or now, I have people who worry about me.
Yes. Come dici?
I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then.
Quando tornai su Mei fu esatto contrario, non venne nessuno a vedere come stessi. Bentornata, Faust.
Yeah, I'm home.
Dove una volta naufragava nel mare del tempo, ora trovato nuovamente un approdo. Mi è piaciuto. E mi è piaciuta questa missione. L'altra lì dei giocatori ci stava, era divertente. Questa era più carina. Però, soprattutto perché abbiamo scoperto il suo segreto, eccetera. Adesso c'è altri 3 finali da fare, ma li faccio poi perché adesso vado a dormire. Anche perché dopo faccio altro. Poi c'era la passeggiata finale. Non sto scherzando. Però ci stavano. Mi piace quando... Cioè, sto gioco c'ha la base appunto come... Principalmente Skyrim, che è... Eroe, salvare il mondo e fare le cose perché bisogna farle. Poi ci sono dei momenti in questo gioco che differenzia molto da altri giochi che ho giocato, che è la base che tu trovi queste missioni e poi il finale è più lungo. Pausa ti parla, ti dice grazie per aver mantenuto il segreto, eccetera. Carina come cosa. Cioè, non è una cosa da A a B. Su Skyrim c'è molto da punto A a punto B, non c'è un B.5 per dire che non c'è un EP, cioè ci sono gli epiloghi ma sono... Ok, fatto, finito. Vabbè. La base è quella lì, invece in sto gioco c'è sempre un epilogo che fa... a volte un epilogo fatto bene è molto carino, come questo è stato molto carino. Ok, quindi manca, presumo, quello lì che diventa insegnante e altri. Mi è piaciuta tanto la missione. Veramente tanto tanto. Cioè, c'era molto da chiacchierare, ma mi è piaciuto. Soprattutto la parte che la mamma mi ha scritto. Beh, quando ci ha ringraziato che il segreto era tra noi mi è piaciuto. Nel senso che mi ho pensato, ma sì dai, ci sta. Perché... Nel senso che... Dici, vabbè. Leggi tutte le lettere, indovina il numero. Non so se sono fortunato, non mi ricordavo che erano 127. Oh. Vabbè, adesso me ne vado a rigare.
What's happening over there?
Vado a dormire.
Can we take a sneaky peek? Huh? Can we?
Vado a dormire. Più che sneaky peeks. Ragazzola. Vabbè. Sì, non ho mai giocato il gioco. Cosa che gioco sempre a giochi America. Halo che. Perché secondo me c'è lo stile giapponese delle storie. E poi c'è lo stile America che è più crudo per lui. Questo forse è un po' più giapponese. Vabbè, adesso me ne vado. Posto. Cavolo. Ciao ciao. Ciao, buon proseguimento. Ciao.